You know, they often say writing is a lonely pursuit, and perhaps it is, but it's a loneliness I've come to embrace. There's something about being alone with your thoughts, your characters, that's liberating. It allows you to explore parts of yourself you'd never reveal to anyone. It's a strange kind of intimacy, isn't it? That connection between the writer and the reader, between the writer and her own thoughts. People always ask me how I come up with these stories. Rebecca, Jamaica Inn, my cousin Rachel. What inspired you? I ask. Well, inspiration. Inspiration is elusive, like a bird that flits away just as you think you've captured it. Sometimes a place will speak to me, other times a person, perhaps a fleeting moment in time. Cornwall, for example, that was where it all began, really. I could sit for hours watching the waves crash against the rocks. It was as though the land and sea were in constant battle, each trying to calm the other. But it was the silence between those moments, the quiet between the crashes, that really fascinated me. That stillness, it's where the real stories live. The characters I create, they often surprise me, you know. They have a way of taking over, as if they are the ones telling the story, not me. Take Rebecca, for instance. Oh, how people misunderstand it. They think it's about a woman falling in love with a man or about jealousy. But no. Rebecca is about a woman being consumed by the ghost of someone who never existed. That's the beauty of it. The narrator's obsessions with Rebecca, she becomes a reflection of her own insecurities, her own fears, and in the end, what is left? A house with no soul, a ghost with no body. I think people see me in the same way they see my characters. They expect me to be something, an image, a type, a writer, a wife, a woman. But you know, labels don't fit well on anyone, do they? I'm more than the sum of those parts. When I write, I'm not trying to reveal myself, not really. It's about the story, the characters, the atmosphere. But sometimes they slip in there, don't they? A little piece of me hidden between the lines. Jamaica Inn, for example, this one was different. A darker story, more gothic, more violent. The characters are trapped, just like the land they inhabit. Jamaica Inn was inspired by the bleak moors near the inn itself. How empty they felt, and the woman at the heart of it, Mary Yellen. Well, she's a fighter, isn't she? She doesn't give in to the shadows of the world around her. Maybe that's what I admire most in my characters, their resilience. They never just fold under pressure. Even when everything around them is falling apart, they stand. Perhaps that's a reflection of my own quiet defiance. After all, I don't live my life for the approval of others. I never have. So, they have a way of dissecting a person's work, don't they? But that's not why I write. I don't write for approval. I write because the words need to be free. And once they're out there, they belong to the reader, not to me, not to anyone else. It's not the story that matters the most. It's the feeling it leaves behind. The lingering echo of a moment. It's a rare thing, really, to create something that haunts people, to make them feel something that sticks with them long after the last page has been turned. That's the mark of a true story, of a true writer. But enough about that. You must be wondering what's next for me. Another book? Perhaps. Maybe not. You see, I don't plan. I never have. My stories, they come when they come. I'm merely the vessel through which they flow. I'm not the one in control, really. I'm just the one who listens. Now, if you'll excuse me, I think it's time I return to my writing. Or perhaps I'll just sit here a little longer. Sometimes, it is the best stories of all. Until next time, my dear, the story is never truly over. It's always waiting to be told again.